What's up you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a tag video. I actually haven't done one of these in a really long time, and I just really wanted to do this one that I found. So this tag is called the Plan With Me book tag, and so these questions are just involving things that you would normally like plan throughout your week or month or day or whatever it might be. I actually do Plan With Me videos here on my book channel, and so I will link the playlist up here if you guys want to check those out. I use a bullet journal and I plan all my like wrap-up spreads and my reading stats and, you know, even just my daily life as well. I show you guys all of that, so, you know, definitely go check those out if you are the planning type. But this video is all about books, so we're gonna go ahead and I will link the original video down below, so that way you guys can check that out. But question number one is Payday, a book you would buy right now, cost doesn't matter. And I actually looked through like my most anticipated list because that's pretty much like the ones that I really want right now, and Survivor Song by Paul Tremblay is definitely like one of the books that I would love to have right now. Like, I don't know why, it just, even though like everything that is going on right now in the world is crazy, I still just want like a good zombie type apocalyptic book. And I think this is even about like a virus that like swarms everybody and turns them into zombies or something. I don't know. It just sounds really good, and it's getting really good ratings, and I just cannot wait for it to like be released so that way I can get it. Question number two is pay a bill, a book you would get rid of right now. And I actually looked through my bookshelves. I usually like, I only have a couple books, or not like a couple, but like I only own like less than 50 books, and that's because I do usually try and like only get ones that I absolutely want. But one of the ones that I would be like okay with parting with is Golden State. I did get this off of Book Outlet, and I mean, it is still kind of interesting, but like from all the books that I have, this is probably the one that's like least interesting to me, and probably one that I would wait the longest to read. So like that's definitely a hard question for like unhauling a book, because I do only really keep books that I actually really like. But this is about like, I don't know, in the Golden State, I guess that the biggest crime is speaking a lie, something like that. So question number three is Doctor Appointment, a book that makes you feel better when you are down. And I actually put, because I'm not a big rereader at all, but if I were to reread something, like especially right now, I feel like I would read Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, because I absolutely loved this book, and I do think that I want to reread it in the future just so that I can like remember it better. But I do love this book because it's about this girl and her life splits into two, so you're reading about like two different alternate universes or timelines, and it's so interesting. Like, I love it so much, and I like aspects of both of her different lives, and so I just think that that's like a really big eye-opener for your own life. I just love it so much. Okay, question number four, Meeting, a book or series you felt obligated to read because of the hype. When I first started getting back into reading a couple years ago, I only knew like what was being hyped at the moment, and that was like fantasy and YA novels. I didn't know that I wanted to read like adult and thrillers and stuff. I didn't know that was like the ones for me, but I started reading ACOTAR just because like everybody else was raving about it. And I mean, the first book wasn't like bad, but if I were to read it now, I probably would rate it much lower than I actually rated it back then, because I know now that I'm not really a big fantasy reader, and I just read that because it was like popular and everyone was doing it. Question number five is a lunch date, a book or series that you fell in love with because a friend recommended it to you. And this actually just recently happened. Gabby from Gabby Reads recommended me the Romance Book Club, and I read it and loved it, gave it 5 stars. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's about a married couple that is having some problems in their marriage, and the husband reaches out to his friends who actually like have a bromance book club, and they read romance novels in order to figure out like how to be a better husband or whatever, and to woo their wives back. And so it's really hilarious, but it's also emotional too, and I like love it so much. Okay, question number six, work/school week, a book that was hard to get through. So I actually am currently reading a book that's hard for me to get through, and it's The Two Lives of Lydia Bird. Like, I really didn't mean for this to be a book that's hard for me to get through, but it just really is. Like, the writing is just very dry and not like something that, like, I just thought it was gonna be more like maybe in another life, like I just told you guys about, but I'm still 63 pages into this book and it's just really like hard going. And so yeah, I don't know why, like it's just like, it almost reminds me of like literary fiction or like women's fiction or whatever, instead of, I guess I thought it was gonna be more like upbeat and contemporary, I guess. I don't know. Okay, question number 7 is Gym Day, a book that gets your heart pumping because it was such an exciting page turner. I actually have like 3 books that I want to put in this. So I want to say No Exit, because I loved that one. It's about a college girl that's going home and it's like the winter time and her car gets snowed in at this rest stop and she realizes that she's snowed in with like 5 other people and one of them is a child abductor. So crazy, so thrilling. And then another one I want to talk about is Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. This is like one of my all-time favorite books. It got me into like thrillers, and this book, like I don't even know how to explain what it is because I read it so long ago. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but it's a domestic thriller about like this couple that isn't exactly like what they appear to be. And then most recently I read The Last Mrs. Parrish, which does remind me of Behind Closed Doors, but it's like a domestic thriller where we have this like girl Amber who's like poor and doesn't have anything, and she wants Daphne's life, and Daphne's like rich and has everything, and so she's like stealing her life. All 3 of those are like some of the most thrilling thrillers that I've ever read, and I loved it. And yeah, they were just like so fun, and I literally could not wait to get to the end. Like I read them like super fast. Okay, question number 8, Date Night, a book with your favorite romantic couple. For this one, I would pick Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I absolutely love Jordan and Pike so much, and this book is actually like a taboo romance or a forbidden romance. So Jordan is only, I think, like 19, and then Pike is her boyfriend's father, and so he's 38. But it's like so well written. It's absolutely amazing, and you'll fall in love with them even if you think you're not going to. Question number 9, Vacation, a book or series you would want to binge if you had all the time in the world. Well, actually I do have all the time in the world right now, but I'm having a problem like binging books. But if I were to binge right now, I really want to read this book that I just got gifted by my friend Debbie, but it's not in my April TBR, so now I feel like I can't binge it. But this is I Liked My Life. I just got this yesterday actually in the mail, and it sounds absolutely amazing. It says, Maddie is a devoted wife and mother, the cornerstone of her family, a true matriarch, until she dies, leaving her husband Brady and teenage daughter Eve heartbroken and reeling. How could the exuberant woman they loved disappear so abruptly, seemingly without reason, from their lives? How can they possibly continue without her? As they sift through details of her last days, trying to understand the woman they thought they knew, Brady and Eve are forced to come to terms with unsettling truths. Maddie, however, isn't ready to leave her family forever. Watching from beyond, she tries to find her perfect replacement. Along comes Rory, pretty, caring, and spontaneous with just the right bit of edge, but who harbors a tragedy of her own. Will the mystery of Maddie ever come to rest, and can her family make peace with their history and begin to heal? It sounds absolutely amazing, and my friend Debbie like absolutely loved it, and then she's been recommending it to a bunch of people who also really like it. So that's why she sent it to me, because she said it's just absolutely such a great book, and I had never heard of it. So you guys should definitely like check this out and see if you can find it, because I mean, and it's kind of small too, which is great. But yeah, it's 258 pages, but cannot wait to read this. All right, last question. Question number 10, to-do list, a book that you keep meaning to get to but don't have the time for. So this is also a book that I just got. I had it on my wish list for a long time, but it is available at my library. I mean, my library's closed now, but it was available at my library, but I kept pushing it off just because, like, I mean, everyone raves about this book, but I am like intimidated by it, but I think I'm finally ready to like start it. This is A Little Life, and let's see, it's by Hana Yanagihara. I always never know how people just like, it just rolls off their tongue when they say it in booktube videos, and I'm so jealous. But anyway, I am very excited to read this. I hear that this is like a very emotional, depressing, but like beautiful story. I don't know exactly how everyone like, I don't know, just everyone talks about it and it just sounds amazing, and I want to read it just like everybody else. And I think it's about these like guys, like 4 boys or 5 of them, 4 4 college classmates, and they all, I guess, are like friends, but like they have these like pasts, I guess, where they're like broken from other things that have happened. And so you like kind of read about just, I guess, their lives. I'm not sure exactly, but this is definitely one that I need to get to, and I think I'm gonna definitely get to it in May, because one of my friends, Allie, she is from Mrs. Dunn Reads. I'm gonna link her channel down below, but she was talking about having like a read along slash watch along, because I think that the TV series is gonna be out, or it is out right now, and so I am gonna really try and participate with that if I can get through this book. This book is huge. She a thick girl. All right, so that is it for this tag video. I would love to know question number 7 for you guys. So what's a book that got your like heart pumping and super thrilling for you? Would love to know that. I also want to know question number 8, which is what's a book with your favorite romantic couple, because I feel like I could get some good recommendations from you guys from those 2 questions. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys very soon in another video. Bye everyone.